What's going on, guys? Welcome to the fifth artist interview here, the Blue Vanity artist interview. Today, here we're joined with Damian, who was the winner of one of the winners of X's Helping Hand Challenge. What's going on, Damian?
Hey, how's it going, you guys?
Yeah, so with regards to the Helping Hand Challenge, do you remember the challenge and what exactly was it like when you won and leading up to that day?
The best way I can explain it is like it really felt like a magical experience. Like it felt like everything happened by fate or like by destiny. Like even though because I didn't get to meet X, and even though I didn't get to meet him, I still feel like this happened by fate. During that time, I was just at a very low point in my life. I was really hanging on by a thread. By winning the challenge, it like really saved me at the time.
I got you. And leading up to that, what exactly did you do to enter the challenge?
I decided to throw a barbecue. What I did to get X to notice me, I decided to speak in front of my school because like I had this vision of X just like watching me like speak in front of the school and like seeing that vision in my head. I knew that's what I needed to do to get his recognition.
When you put that out, like, were you a big fan of X at the time that you put that
Y-
out?
Yeah, I was only listening nothing but his music. Maybe a couple peep songs here and there, but it was strictly nothing but X. And his music, it was helping me like when I was feeling like depressed or lonely or sad, and when I was angry, I was listening to those hype songs that
Yeah.
just like every song was helping me. And it was around the time X was starting to change a lot, so he
Hmm.
was putting different songs that were meant to be more healing instead of self destruction. And
Hmm.
those like seeing X really change around that time was like really inspiring me to change for myself.
I got you. And with regards to that, were you listening to like 17? Was that one of the albums in rotation, or was
Yeah,
that
yeah,
okay?
and that's one of the I when I thought about offing myself, I went to this one location where I was thinking about doing it, and I was listening to like a lot of like really crazy acts, and then I decided to put on 17, and like once I was listening to Jocelyn Flores, it changed like how I was viewing this situation. Like it made me see things from X's point of view. Like he wouldn't want to see a fan like hurt themselves, or if he wouldn't want to find out about that or see that.
Hmm.
So that that kind of saved me in the moment. Just I've okay, so it felt like when I because that was 2 days before X dropped the challenge.
Hmm.
It felt like I entered his mind through that music, like
Oh,
being at that low point. It's so hard to explain, and how I felt. It was crazy. It felt like I literally entered his mind, and it connected me. We were just on the same like plane, astral plane. It's
hmm.
crazy. I started to like look into spirituality and things like that because like X was just always like talking about those sort of things. So it really it was like the birth of my like spiritual awakening.
So when you put that together, like your Helping Hand Challenge, I believe you ended up getting a text from X. Was that on Twitter
Yeah,
or something? How did
yeah,
that
and
go?
that was the day after I spoke at the school. I spoke in at an assembly for a school,
Hmm.
and a day after that, I posted that at like 12 o'clock on Twitter, and the
Okay.
next I woke up to X's message, and the first thing I did was like I started crying like out of joy, and I didn't know like emotion. I didn't think that it's so cliche. I didn't think it would that something like that would happen. I was just so happy, and it was also on a Saturday morning, so like I I was living in a shed at the time, and like I'm waking up and like it's January, I'm freezing cold, and I just my favorite artist just texted me, the person that just saved me 2 days ago.
No, that's wild.
I
That's
was,
crazy.
I was just so I was just so happy.
That must have been really intense for you in that time right there.
Yeah, I went from like being completely like depressed at my lowest point to being at what I felt was my peak.
Hmm. I see. And then I believe you had a barbecue after, no?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what inspired me to do that was
Hmm.
I went into foster care when I was 12, and it was more so like it was kind of like the foster home that X went to, like more so like a community, like how it's just put together. because there's foster homes where it's like where it has like 5 or 6 kids, but then
Hmm.
they have facilities where they have like 30 to 60 kids, and I grew up in that sort of thing. So whenever people would like donate to the kids and stuff, they would like throw barbecues and stuff, and I always thought that was cool because like it just makes you feel like friends and family. Like so, I decided to do a barbecue because I just wanted people to feel welcome, and I didn't want to like invade people's like space. I didn't want to like have to go up to people and like hand stuff out and that sort of thing because I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. So I felt like doing a barbecue was the best thing to just have people feel like welcome.
Like the photos that I did see on your Instagram, it did see like pretty inclusive, and everyone did seem like they're having a good time. So I feel like you nailed all of the aspects that you were aiming for.
Yeah, and we did also hand out food on the streets and stuff too
Mhm.
because I had a group of friends and they had trays and stuff, so they handed out stuff
Right.
because people were like in wheelchairs and stuff like that.
Around that time, I know that you ended up sending X your phone number, and there was like a little mishap there. What
Yeah.
exactly happened there?
Okay, so I woke up to I was taking a nap, and back then I used to smoke a lot. I took a nap and I woke up to X's message. He said, "Send me your number," and I did, but I was off by one single digit, and I didn't realize I sent him the wrong number for like a few days. And one of my friends pointed it out, and I was like, I knew it was going to affect how everything was going to work out, and it kind of did. It really sucks that that happened. I'm always thinking about the what ifs. I accidentally sent him the wrong number. I tried getting a hold of like all sorts of people, but not the
Hmm.
right people. Like I should have hit up his manager. I should have hit up John because I was talking to John a lot around that time. I should have hit up better people. I hit up Donna's live, and
Yeah,
he hit up X for me, and X saw that he I gave him the wrong number through that,
I was gonna
and
ask you about that because I saw Dom is
yeah,
live news. He
he
lost it.
knew that I did give him the wrong number,
Hmm.
and his way his one of his buddies Gustavo, he told me that X didn't know that. I mean, it's obvious that he knew that I gave him the wrong number through Dama's live, but X was aware and he was just so busy at that time. I did mention to X like how I felt and stuff like that. He's the only one that would have understood the significance of my story. I did share like little like things on like Twitter and stuff. I really wish that I got to share my story with him.
Definitely, like sharing that with him, I feel like he would have understood exactly what you went through as well through his own
Yeah,
upbringing and related to everything that you went through.
exactly. And I know if he was still here, he would have kept in touch with most of the he would have kept in touch with all of us, but I
Hmm.
feel like I would have really stuck out to him the most
Hmm.
because of my upbringing. And X's upbringing, it's like parts of it really reflected in my own, and that's why his music really like what he's like saying in his music exactly how I'm feeling.
Hmm.
That's it, how I was always interpreting it. And during that time when I was like pre Helping Hand Challenge, I was listening to like a lot. Like I was listening to Fall, Ghost, and Alone Part One. Those were the songs that were really helping me during that time.
Hmm. Those are really deep songs. Like Alone Part One's a really that's one I used to listen to too.
Yeah, those were just felt like it was healing my spirit. Yeah, especially Alone Part One. But now, like when I really look back at it, I was really living the fall. I was really at my lowest. In that song, X references like the snow and being December.
Hmm.
That's around the time when I was like going through it. So like little references and in the music and like the atmosphere that I was feeling.
Hmm.
Out the lyrics were just like
It just resonate with you there, I see. But with relation to that, I believe X also were there like several winners of this contest?
yeah, there was 10 winners,
There's 10
and
winners.
I only know of six.
Uh-huh.
And unfortunately, I just found out that one of the girls that won unfortunately passed away pretty recently.
Oh damn.
Yeah, yeah, that really is. It was tough because I was actually talking to her a lot when she won. Like back when there were a bunch of winners, I was talking to a lot of them, and I'm still like kind of friends with some.
Hmm. Hmm. So you guys have like your own community, like your own group chat at the time, or was it just like interactions that you had with them?
Okay, so apparently there was a group chat, but I wasn't a part of it, but I'm not sure if that's true.
I see, I see. Because I know like the winner that I saw and the winner that like that was publicized, wasn't it like that George guy? Like
Yeah,
the
there's George and then there's Frankie.
oh Frankie, okay. There was
Yeah,
those two, yeah.
Frankie is the they use Frankie's picture with X for his TMZ when when
Oh.
passed away. Yeah, they used
Mhm.
it.
So with relation to like X and have you had any conversations with people on X's team, like Ski Mask or anyone with that? Like when you reached out to them?
I've only talked to like close friends, like a couple of his like friends and producers follow me, like
Hmm.
Kilo Jr. and I've talked to John Cunningham and
Hmm.
I've talked to Kidway and a couple other people. I've talked to his like a couple old producers that he worked with, like that have unreleased songs with him that
Hmm.
don't have anymore, but they did work with him.
I got you. Yeah,
X's dad did used to follow me on Instagram, but then he had to get a new account and yeah, that sort of thing. He knows my story,
yeah.
but
Have you followed
I've
back?
tried getting a hold of Cleo, but she's hard to get a hold of.
Cleo's a tough one to get a part of hold of. Yeah, yeah. With relation to X passing away, I know that was a really tough time for me too. Just coming home from school, going on my phone and not believing it. Like, what was
Yeah,
your initial reaction to that
I
really
I,
tough day?
I didn't believe it. Like the whole day is pretty vivid to me. I, w- I was working at the time at my old job, and I was doing dishes, and I was working with my ex girlfriend at the time, and she comes back to me and she tells me that X just got shot, and like it's my girlfriend, so like I didn't believe her at the time.
Yeah.
Then when I saw the news, like I was just hoping that he would just make it, but unfortunately he didn't. I've never been able to grieve because I've lost so much growing up. X's death, honestly, like it affected me like subconsciously. I didn't notice how it was affecting me at the time, and now like going back and reliving, I'd say, just going back and thinking about everything. I started crying a lot recently because like thinking about like how long it's been and how much life he missed out on and how far he would have been.
Not to cycle back to what you said before, but you mentioned that you had a really tough time with loss. Like, what did that look like when you were younger? If you're okay with going into that.
I moved around a lot and that sort of thing. Just
Mhm.
always like losing things and then losing people. Just losing physical objects and people. And the way I used to cope with like loss was just being numb, just like not thinking about it, like not
Mhm.
caring.
Mhm.
And those things didn't really manifest themselves till I got older. Like once I turned like 17, 18. Like I was never like somebody to think of like offing themselves before. But once like I got a little older and started experience life a little more, that's when my emotions started to deepen. I'd say, or I'd start to show them a little more. Because when I was younger, I'd hide everything behind like anger, because I showed my anger a lot from like a young age, from like when I was like 10 years old.
Mhm.
I've broken my hand several times.
With relation, like I know X was someone who was extremely spiritual. He was someone that read books into that type of stuff, and a lot of people do. Are there any books that you've read recently, or books that he recommended that have helped you in your life?
I have never been a reader myself. I
Hmm.
want to. I want to check out some stuff,
Hmm.
but it's something I've never done because I'm just not a reader.
I got you. I was,
And
yeah.
that's that's due to me like missing a lot of school growing up. I've never
Hmm.
really cared about academics and that sort of thing.
Hmm. I got you. I know, like when I personally started my spiritual journey, just like through X and through like the master key system that he recommended. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
you've
I did
that book.
like YouTube videos and that sort of thing.
Hmm.
Just a YouTube junkie. Yeah, I spend like a ridiculous amount of hours on YouTube. So
I know like that book and like a lot of other books that lead into it, they have a lot of stuff that really help you like mentally type thing, like
yeah,
to really push you forward. That really helped me in my own spiritual journey and growing in a sense too, but it's just something I wanted to bring up. Are you spiritual in any sense or are you just
yeah, but not. I don't really like practice, like do
Mhm.
any sort of practice or anything like that.
Mhm.
Just just my beliefs on like the laws of the universe, just stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not I don't get into like worshiping crystals and stuff
No, I
like that.
got you. Yeah. That stuff can be out there, like the astrology and everything too.
Yeah, I'm really big in the laws of the universe though,
Uh-huh.
because when I won X challenge, I was manifesting the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like after I saw the helping hand challenge video, I knew I was a winner, and
Hmm.
I didn't even know at the time that there was 10 winners. So I knew that I was the one. I just felt like it was meant for me. During that time, I was just like, all I believed in was what is real will prosper, and that was my senior quote in the yearbook. So
It's a deep one.
while X was alive, a month after the Helping Hand Challenge, I got my apartment, and a month before his passing, I graduated high school. Two things I was just hoping to accomplish, but getting an apartment a month later after the Helping Hand Challenge, that like really gave me a lot of hope.
With relation to, you mentioned you watch YouTube and stuff. You watch the Laws of the Universe on there. Is that where you learn your stuff from?
Yeah,
I got you. Obviously, a huge part of my channel is about X and the growth that he had and everything that he taught us. What's like one key thing that he's taught you that's changed your life for the better?
believe in myself.
Believing in yourself?
Like after winning the challenge, like it showed me how like far believing in yourself could take you, and
Hmm.
it really showed me what I could do.
I know that you mentioned that you were also a part of the Look at Me documentary that was put together. How exactly was that process put together?
I'm not in the documentary. I'm in the book.
You're in the book.
Yeah,
Well, you got it right there. Hey.
yeah, I'm in this book right here.
Uh-huh. Right there. And then
I'm on page 217.
actually,
You can't see it, but
yeah, I'll put it on the screen.
yeah, you'll check it out.
Yeah, 100%. I'll have that on the screen. They put Damian in the book. I believe, do they mention your whole story or how do they go about that?
It's just a little summary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Was there filming for the documentary too, though? Was there any filming for it or?
No, I worked on my own documentary.
Oh, you worked on your own documentary.
Yeah,
True, true. Have you put that out or is that something that's just personal for you?
it was it was archived because I never sent my part of the footage and we never got to finish it. So now I have all the footage. I'm not sure how I want to use it. I'll put out a bigger one day, but I want to put out a small personal one on my YouTube for now.
Got you. Because I see you posting all the time too on your Instagram story, like putting like little snippets of it too. Is that what you're working on there?
Yeah,
Yeah, I got
yeah,
you.
and I'm not even halfway done with that. That's tough to work on. Coming like from a pacing, like from a filmmaking perspective, from an
Mhm.
editor's perspective, this video is hard. It's hard to work on.
Yeah, yeah.
Ma- Made me realize how hard like certain videos make are like no joke. Like
Mm,
the small videos I was making before my YouTube channel, way easier. I could knock it out in like 3 hours, maybe one, maybe a few.
mm-hmm.
But this one, it's taken me almost 2 months.
Damn,
Yeah.
I see.
Plus, I have to get a lot of footage from like old friends and
Hmm.
stuff like that.
That definitely
So
takes time too.
yeah, that takes time and it's kind of a pain,
Hmm. Just to
but
reach
it's
out.
worth it.
It'll be worth it in the end,
It was
100%.
crazy how I was living back then though. Like there was I was we were living in a me and my foster brother like we started couch surfing when we turned 18.
Hmm.
When we were living in a shed, we were already couch surfing for a whole year.
Hmm.
So when we were living in the shed, like there was a freaking rat in there. You know, it'd steal like the food up in there.
Yeah.
Stole it was still like Oreos and stuff like that. It was crazy. And
Yeah.
like the shed we stayed in, it like the doors wouldn't fully shut. They were
Oh,
kind of look like barn doors, and like one would lay over the other,
yeah.
so it would never fully shut. And there'd be nights where it'd get really windy, and they would just like keep swinging.
Damn.
Yeah,
That must have been really tough.
yeah, yeah. Like the conditions were like they weren't terrible, but
Hmm.
they they were kind of fun at times. But it was not cool. The only like my ex girlfriend was really supportive during that time. Like a lot of the times I even made it to school is because her and her grandma would like come pick me and Gordon, my foster brother. Her grandma would come pick us up. And I also had a teacher at the time
Hmm.
that would like drop off like care packages of like food and all sorts of stuff, which was really cool. During that time, my ex girlfriend really helped me out. Like, she was really like pushing me to succeed. Like, she was pushing me to get that apartment, make sure I graduate, make sure I had a job. She was just really pushing me, and she cared a lot about like myself.
Hmm.
Like, there were times when I kind of would treat her like not the best, and she would like just stick by my side and like just make sure I was happy. There was a lot of nights where like I didn't have no food or something, so she'd like drop off some McDonald's or bring me some money or whatever.
Hmm.
During that time, the only people I really had was ex and my ex girlfriend. She really went out of her way to really do everything for me. Uh, I had my friends and stuff, but there's like so much you could like say and they could understand and stuff like that. And then Gordon, my foster brother, or my best friend, I can't really talk to him about anything because we're going through the exact situation. Really, all I had was my ex girlfriend. So when I didn't have my girlfriend, when when I had my ex girlfriend, all I had was ex's music. So he really helped me during those times. Because a lot of the like sadness and depression really came during the nights when it was like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. when all those like thoughts start creeping in. I would get home at like 2 a.m. and I couldn't really shower. So getting off work at that time and like not being able to shower would like really make me incredibly angry.
Hmm.
Like when I thought about offing myself, it was more so out of like anger instead of like depression or sadness, which is honestly a lot more scarier than doing it out of depression or sadness. A lot of the donations came from my school. I started a canned food drive. Before I was gonna just have them announce that on the morning announcements, but that's why I spoke in front of the school
Hmm.
so I could tell them about the donation bin and stuff like that.
Yeah. And who did that go to? Like the donation stuff.
That just went to we brought it to the barbecue, so like
Oh,
you could grab your like get your food and then you could grab some
makes
cans.
sense. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, and people that people that weren't going to school, like friends that I had that were already out of high school,
Hmm.
they were donating like water and stuff like that.
Oh, actually.
The place I was working at the time, my boss, I was telling him about what I was doing, and then he was like, "Well, can I cook?" Because I was working at a bar at the time,
Mm.
and he also ran a kitchen, and that's where I was working.
Hmm.
And he offered to cook for me, so I was like, "Of course you can."
Yeah.
So that's how I got somebody to cook, and he also donated a bunch of food on his part, and I dropped some of my own money, and then my weight training coach he matched what I dropped, which is really cool.
Mm.
So like I really had the like whole community like supporting me, which was really cool.
Yeah, it must be. That's
But
actually cool. Yeah.
since it's like such a small town, it was like it's very Whoville-ish. Like
Mhm.
it's like straight out of yeah, it's like real life Whoville.
I got you. I got
People,
you.
yeah, the way the community, like the way like people support each other
Yeah.
or hate each other, it's like really it it, it could be either like everybody's singing, dancing around a tree, or they got a mob chasing after you. So
Yeah, I got you. What's it called? Did you play football at the time? Because I swear you were wearing your football jersey, no?
I, I did, and
Yeah.
I that to just show my support for the school for them supporting me.
Yeah, 100%.
So
What
yeah,
position were you?
I was a corner, and
Actually.
in my earlier years, I was also a running back. But I during the summer, I was doing a lot of psychedelics,
Hmm.
so I missed out on a lot of practices. So I never got to play any of the offensive game. So I was just stuck on defense. But I
Hmm.
was a beast at special teams. Like I was a monster. I,
Yeah.
I ran a I ran a 4.4, so I was like, I
Actually,
was yeah, I was quick. So
that's
when it
wicked.
came, yeah, when it came to special teams,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
People.
like a couple things I wanted to do when I got to meet X, like I wanted to race him because
Yeah.
I knew that was something I could for sure probably beat him in, and I wanted to friendly fade him because it'd be either a privilege to get beat up by X or it would just be nice to be able to match him.
I got you.
Even though like I'm I'm a small looking white guy, but I grew up in the ghetto. I grew up in the hood. I
Hmm.
know how to fight. So
Hmm.
it would have just been a fun little thing. And another thing that I want to do when I got to meet X, like I really wish I got to. This idea I had was to get "What is real will prosper" tatted on me, and
Ooh.
I wanted either him to do it or just have him bring like one of his tattoo guys over.
Hmm.
There was just like there was so much I wanted to do and say to him, which
Yeah.
is very unfortunate because the impact he had on me.
Hmm.
He's impacted millions of kids in plenty significant ways.
Hmm.
Obviously, for me, mine feels special in a way.
Let's go. You watch football or?
Yeah, I'm a Packers fan.
Oh, you're a Packers fan. Sure. I'm a 49ers fan, so it's
Yeah,
different.
that's Gordon's favorite team. So I like the 49ers because that's his team. Like I show
Mhm.
my respect to them. I'm not
Yeah.
like I mean I hate my rivals, of course. I hate Bears fans. Fuck.
You guys almost had it this past year.
Bears and Vikings fans. Jesus. I love Jordan Love. Jordan Love's awesome.
He's cool. He has potential.
Yeah, he has potential, of course.
He has potential.
But
And
he
like,
has a
uh-huh.
he's just a good heart.
Yeah,
So
he's cool. He's cool. I'm happy you got past the Rodgers phase and now you can actually like build like a team.
yeah, he was very stubborn. He's honestly a man child. I love Aaron Rodgers. He's a goat. But
Yeah.
him as a person, he's very self arrogant.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, like also when I was living in the shed,
Yeah.
I was I was doing like I was doing a lot of psychedelics during that time, so I felt like a real junkie. Like
Yeah.
I felt very dirty.
Hmm.
Just just the small things like that were making me feel very. I was at the time I was very insecure about myself, but when I won the challenge, I was very confident and like it really changed my perception on everything, on how I
Yeah.
viewed myself. It was like a yin and yang, like everything switched. I went from like self hate to self love, and
Hmm.
all like everything just switched.
Hmm. It's
Me
good to hear.
wanting me not to want to be alive to me wanting to live,
Yeah.
and it all switched within 2 3 days.
No, it must have been a wild experience there, 100%.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
I, like the high I felt, I was just high off life.
hmm.
Like, and I was sober at that time because I just had so much energy, and I
Hmm.
felt like I was high off life. And I've only felt that a couple times, and it was like that and semen retention, like
Hmm.
the, the type of energy it gives you in your chest.
Hmm.
I think it's the chakra that's probably fucking that's something
Yeah,
being. I don't know, man.
I got
It's
you.
crazy that energy that you feel in your chest. It's the
No, yeah.
craziest energy.
It's crazy. And if you like transmute, if you change the energy into other stuff too, it's like gives you energy just to like, I don't know, do whatever you want. Like you can go for a run, you can go
Yeah,
weightlift, stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. Like when you when you're when you have that type of when you have that type of energy, you feel
Mhm.
godly.
Yeah, you do.
And like during that time, I felt like I was my own god. I really looked up to X at that time. Me and X are the same age. We were born the same year. So like I looked up to like a lot of a lot of everything he was saying and what he was doing after. Like when I'm talking about this, he was already in his like purple hair phase like era. So he was just so inspiring during that time. I couldn't
100%.
help I couldn't help but like to want to fix myself too. And that's how I know it's genuine because like X was constantly changing. Like you can compare him a picture or just a phase of him and they're two different people. Like you could take his black and blonde hair phase and set it beside his normal black haired face before he dyed it blonde. Those are two different X's. His change was limitless,
Hmm.
which is kind of scary and crazy.
Yeah.
He's changing, adapting to his surroundings, and you could really, at the time, you could really hear it in his music.
Hmm.
Like music was just different. It was a lot more positive.
It changed. Even like 17, I believe the last song on 17 is like "What Are You So Afraid Of?" And him just like
Or
contemplating.
question mark
Yeah, yeah.
or skins.
That was Skins? Yeah.
Yeah, skin.
That song, "What Are You So Afraid Of?" Even like him just contemplating like what is it that actually scares you in life? What is it that you think about? What keeps you up at night? It's just that it's changing from like the I hate myself to the questioning different things like
Yeah, yeah. A
what.
lot of his music in the end had a lot of questions.
Hmm. Yeah. Maybe that's why there's the question mark on the album.
Yeah, was the eerie about no? Yeah, that skins question mark. The last song on that album is Before I Close My Eyes,
Yeah.
and that's the last song on his album. That's the last song that was released before he died.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Before you lay me down to sleep, it's just like that's eerie, 100%.
Yeah.
Some weird stuff with that. I know more recently you've been pursuing just posting videos about Spider-Man or like Spider-Man memorabilia.
It's something I got into after I broke up with my ex girlfriend. I was just doing a lot of drinking at the time, and I just felt like I needed a better outlet, so I just started doing that. But
Hmm.
something I'm starting to grow out of, and I might just take a break from it for a bit and see whatever else is out there.
I've never looked into the movies. Are they good movies?
Yeah, the older movies, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Which one should I watch if I want to watch one of them? Do I have to start at one of them or
You should watch all three of the original movies.
all three? The OG ones?
The third one is, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but
Okay.
it's pretty awesome. So entertaining. He turns into black suit Spider Man.
Yeah, yeah. That happens in the third one?
Yeah, and
I
he's
see.
pretty reckless in that movie. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Wait, so is he like a black like suit Spider-Man? Is he like the same
Yeah,
person?
yeah. It's cool because like that kind of got me into somewhat of the collecting is like me thinking about like the darkness that was like within me and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. The movies were just helping me at the time, so
Mm-hmm.
something I just got into.
I feel like they could definitely help with that too. Just like having like that creative element there where someone like shows that in a movie, then you relate
Yeah,
to that.
because in the third movie, the black suit is supposed to refer to like just drugs or hard substances. Like
Oh,
it's about addiction and like
yeah.
stuff like that. Like the themes in the movie are pretty strong. Like it's about forgiveness, addiction,
Hmm.
all sorts of stuff.
And isn't there a Sandman in one of them? I remember I was scared of
Yeah,
this when I
that's
was young.
also that's also in the third movie.
That's the third one?
Yeah,
True. I might check them out though still, because sounds
yeah,
like
you
cool
should,
movies. And like
yeah.
on the Discord right now, people always talk about them in there too. There's a bunch of people who are like fascinated by it, so sounds like some cool stuff. To wrap up this interview, is there anything that you'd like to say to anyone who's watching?
If you were a person that knew X personally, just know that he impacted me in many ways I can't explain. He really saved my life when I felt like I was at my lowest point, and I owe my life to him even though he's not here anymore. He just did so much for me around that time. I really can't explain it. He taught me so much. He taught me more than I ever learned in school.
I'd really like to thank you though today, Damian, for being open with us and walking us through your story with X
Yeah,
and
of
how
course.
exactly that impacted you. I know it's going to mean something to a lot of my subscribers and a lot of people who watch this video. What's going on? Thank you for watching the podcast to entirety. I really appreciate you staying till the end. All of Damian's links are in the description below. You can message him on Instagram. You can reach out to the Helping Hand Challenge winner himself. Make sure to join the Discord as well as leave a like on this video. It means a lot to the future of this channel. And if you would like to be interviewed, please reach out to me on Instagram. We are charging a fee for interviews. It's not too much. You get exposure to my 20,000 subscribers. All in all, helps the community grow and it helps us actually learn who we are. And it helps me continue to produce these videos for you and keep upgrading my own software and my own editing skills in the meantime. So I love you. Thank you for the continued support. And make sure to also join the Discord. So tune in for next Monday for the next interview. And we'll have a next video out on Wednesday. So Wednesday, you'll have a new video by me, new video by Blue Vanity on the Blue Vanity channel for the official Blue Vanity community. So I love you all. Take care. Have a good day and make sure you actually enjoy the summer today. So I love you. Take care.